Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen, let's talk Rings of Power episode 3. This is going to be my, I guess, kind of a spoiler review. Not that there's too much to spoil, really, there kind of is, but not too much. The episode title is Adar. Looking at it, you'd probably think it was Adar, but it's Adar. We know that because it's the title of a character, it's the name of a character, should I say, used as the title of this episode. This episode was more enjoyable than the previous two, but it's still quite lacking, and let me explain why. I think one of my primary issues with the show is that it was touted as the most expensive show of all time. $50 million an episode, really expensive. And so, you know, when Galadriel gets saved by Elendil at the start, and, you know, Halbrand's there, and they're on this boat, and then we cut to a big wide shot, and it's just entirely CG. The boat's CG, the environment CG. I just feel like I'm not looking at anything tangible. I mean, I'm not. It's physically not there. And that's the difference, I guess, primarily with the Peter Jackson series, was although they did utilise CGI, it tended to be blended with real world, like especially real world objects. So they would use real boats, real ships. They were really in rivers. They were really in oceans and things. Now, that, I guess, is part and parcel of, you know, the problems of adapting something which has been adapted already. You will naturally compare it to its previous sort of iteration, as it were. But then there's just other things, you know, like we get the actor of Elendil, right? Absolutely phenomenal actor. Genuinely amazing actor today. I could barely believe it, how good he was on screen. And that actor just showed everyone else up. Whenever he was on screen, he showed everyone up. Very sincere. The emoting that he would do with his face, the inflection in the line delivery was the best that the show has had so far, in my view. Again, this is just all my opinion. But he really showed everyone up. Really showed everyone up. Now, we'll kind of talk through the plot, I guess, kind of where it's going and where if I think it's any good, and then we'll talk about, you know, the pros and the cons. The primary pro is just Elendil, fantastic actor. So what happens in this episode? Well, like I said, Galadriel gets picked up with Halbrand on a ship and then taken to Numenor. In Numenor, they don't like elves. They are pushed to one side. You can stay for, you know, a couple days and then be on your way, sort of thing, basically. That's the premise of this episode. They get to Numenor, they have to go before the Queen, and then that's just how it is. Now, it's kind of a break from lore to some degree, you know, like the Queen was... There was like an incestuous relationship with this sort of king and queen of this land, primarily because someone wanted to assert power, and that was kind of how they got it, was by being incestuous. But anyway, the actor who plays the Queen, very lacking in some of the line delivery. Some of it was good, actually, but I feel like it would have benefited from a few more takes, because some of it was just really strange. There seems to be this sort of running theme of overacting with this show, really just overacting with a lot of line delivery, a lot of just chewing up scenes, you know, but a bit too much. And then anyway, Galadriel, Elendil is charged with watching over Galadriel, and Galadriel keeps buggering off and breaking free and trying to steal boats, basically, to go to, Middle Earth. And Elendil says, well, you know, in my halls, we're still friends to elves. And she's like, oh, where is that? Oh, it's about a day's ride to the west or something like that. Did you say ride? And then we go to this, I have to find the image, but we go to this very, very, very strange slow-mo scene. Now, this is a weird slow-mo scene. I understand why it's there. Let me explain. It's obviously there to show that she can, you know, be humanized. She has things that she likes. It takes enjoyment out of certain things, like horse riding. But, oh my god, did they misjudge it. seeing Morfydd Clark's shit-eating grin in slow motion, when all we've had to go on before was her being essentially a bit of a Karen, because she has, up until now, pretty much a one-note face, right? It's one emotion on her face. In all of the still images, most of the show so far, it's been one emotion on display. To then go to this in slow-mo was very jarring, beyond parody, poorly judged. Really, I burst out laughing. It was very poorly judged, like comedically so. I mean, this is just a still image. It's worse in motion. And then they cut to this like zoomed in shot. It's really bad, ladies and gents. It's really bad. Genuinely piss poor. And I understand, like I said, I understand why they included it. Here's my interpretation. They show the first 2 episodes, this hardened warrior, and then we're going to slowly show her coming out of her shell and, working with the common man and being a little bit more at peace. That's my interpretation of it, right? And this is a gateway to that. But good God, super bad. And again, would have benefited from a hell of a lot more takes. Less of, a shit-eating grin. And just a little bit... I don't know. I don't know what it was. But it was beyond parody. Anyway, Elendil actor, fantastic. Really, 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 really good. Genuinely good. I thought he was amazing. And just a lot of kind of charisma on screen. When there's actors that come on screen and you go, what's he about? I want to watch this guy, this girl, whatever. I want to see what this person is about. This actor had that. Very, very, very good. Now, he might not be good by comparison to other actors in the wider world of acting, but in this show, he's Oscar performance, because everyone else is terrible. So anyway, from there, that's that kind of side story of Galadriel, right? And then Halbrand, of course, finding out that Halbrand is essentially, the king of the the Southlands, what presumably will become Mordor. So he's the sort of lost king of the Southlands. That was interesting to a certain degree. I like Halbrand. I think he's a fairly good actor, to be perfectly honest. And then we cut to the elf that got taken and is now digging trees with a bunch of other elves, actually, which makes me question, the elves aren't really that good, it seems, in this iteration. They seem to be pretty weak and pretty easily captured. But anyway, they are trying to escape. They do a pretty good job, actually, of taking down, of besting their captors somewhat. And then they say, release the warg. And this is what we get. Really bad. Now, in these still images, it actually looks better. Because when I watch this on my TV, I don't know whether it's my computer. I mean, I got a 4K TV, but the 4K TV, this made it look comically bad. Why did they give it such big eyes? No idea. Because it looks, I don't know, like semi-cutesy, but also not. We all know that big eyes, it's a cutesy kind of, it's something which is synonymous with being a bit cutesy. This was terrible. I just thought the effects on this were genuinely bad. And again, whenever I see these kind of things, I just think $50 million an episode, right? $50 million an episode for this cute warg. And then they get taken down, the elves, again. And then they go to kill the elf. That's our elf character, right? The one that's been sleeping with a human. And they go, no, take him before Adar. This guy. Presumably, made like some weird orc king that's also a man. Or an elf. Looks like he's got elf ears. So I don't really know what's going on here. But he's got the glove. We see him walking through in the trailer. He's got the glove of Sauron, right? It's that sort of, armoured gauntlet. All in all, not a good episode. But definitely want to see more from this dude. Definitely want to see more. Oh no, sorry. Also, the Harfoots pop up again, of course. Harfoots seem awfully terrible people. They're like, we're going to move the caravans. You with a broken leg, you're going to go to the back. Why? Because. What? You're terrible. You are awful people. And there was also a very funny sort of article from like Irish people saying that they're taking the piss out of Irish travellers. Which I can kind of see it, to be fair. Like, they all sort of speak somewhat with that vibe, live in caravans, and they're all filthy. It's that sort of bigoted look, I guess, at Irish travellers. So I can kind of see where it comes from, where the article came from, anyway. But anyway, can't recommend it. I tweet about these things. I discuss it over on Twitter. So if you don't follow me, please do. At Mr. H Reviews. There should be a link in the description box, along with Patreon, Teespring, all that good stuff. Support the channel, but leave me your thoughts down below. Take care.